Many of you have been following Saber's training from the beginning, and I want to take a minute and talk about my program as a whole with Saber, why I did the things I did, and why I knew those were going to work, particularly for him. Being an Arabian, I did things different than I would have if he was a quarter horse, and there was a reason behind why I did what I did, and that's what I want to talk about. So Arabians are very alert. They don't miss a thing. They're very high energy. So you're not going to work them down and get them tired like a quarter horse. So what you have to do, or what I have found, I've trained quite a few of them. What I have found is you have to kind of engage their brain and teach their brain how to think and process things through. So I did that in several ways, and right here I'm doing that with this cow. I'm teaching him to think about that cow, process what it is, and kind of categorize that cow into a is this dangerous or is this not dangerous? And I did that with several different ways. Here I'm doing it with this calf, and it's interesting to watch him because he's not too sure about the cow. And then once he decides, well, it doesn't seem like it's a threat to me, then he starts to kind of process and think, well, maybe I can push it around. Maybe I can do something with it. And that is a big key to getting his brain to just kind of relax and process in this video. I know a lot of people that kind of have problems with Arabians, and it's almost like they're afraid of triggering those reactions that Arabians do. But what I found with them is you trigger them so you can train them. Like I'm doing here, shooting a gun with him, and he's learning that all these things are really not bad. They're not going to hurt him. They might be a little scary, but they're not going to hurt him. And that is really an essential part of training an Arabian to be a really good companion, a really good horse. So that was the whole thing throughout his training, was to really challenge him a lot, let him learn that all these challenges are not scary. They're not going to hurt him. When Saber first came in, he was terrified of cows, just like he was scared of everything else. But by teaching him that he could follow that cow and he could make that cow move, that really helped him build confidence. And that's something that I do with every horse that comes in. But with him being an Arabian, it was even more important because an Arabian's reactions are always big. So it's really important to get those reactions under control, and you do that by challenging him. And that's the part that a lot of people miss. They get worried about those reactions, but you have to challenge them. And the more you challenge Saber especially, but Arabians and horses in general, the more you challenge them to think, the better off the horse ends up being. A lot of people do these with tarps and flags and all that kind of stuff, and that works. There's nothing wrong with that. But I prefer to do it with more stuff that we normally do in the everyday work that we do. So that's why it's more cows, shooting, bridges, stuff that we actually do, and that really works into the versatility ranch horses that we train. It's all part of a whole package going in the same direction. But with an Arabian like Saber, it's even more important that you challenge them more. Really get their brain thinking. It is because of the time that we spent teaching his brain to think that now he's a really nice trail horse. We've taken him away to a national forest close to me on a couple of trail rides, and he right there, we got on and he rides right off really nice. And if we do feel him start to worry, we have a way of challenging him here too. If we're trail riding him and he starts to get a little bit worried, or just to kind of challenge his mind, occupy his mind, we just ride him off into the bushes. And that does a couple of things that really engages his mind, And it also helps to build his confidence. You see here, we actually have to push him a little bit. His brain is thinking, his brain is working. This is it. I mean, right there, he looks like he's kind of not wanting to go, but this is nice. This is something we can work with. This is an engaged brain that is thinking, and a thinking brain is a trainable brain. All through Saber's training, I used Bob as kind of a confidence builder in some strategic places. And I'm on Bob here taking this video, and you have to be careful doing that because you want to use the other horse to build confidence, but you don't want them dependent on that horse. That's a really important thing to take notice of. You and really be aware of what you're using the buddy horse for and how you're doing it. I only use Bob for certain things in certain places, and it's really important that I build the confidence in, build Saber's confidence, but I don't make Saber dependent. And in the end, he has turned out to be just really good trail horse, but just a really good horse in general. Now, when he sees something he's worried about, his brain will engage, he thinks it through, and has become a really nice horse. Too often, Arabians get a bad rap and called crazy or a box of Fruit Loops, like this commenter commented. They're not crazy. They're not stupid. They're really good horses. But you have to know what you're doing when you're training them. You have to train that reactivity. You have to train that brain. If you have not seen the videos of training Saber, I'll put a link to his playlist on YouTube, and you can see how his progress came through. And now that you've seen kind of my thought process of why I did what I did, I think rewatching those videos will make a whole lot of sense to you.